Let's stand and say the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public discussion. Jay, you got anything else?
No, like I said, I just try to put the fires out. I know how that all goes.
With that, seeing no one else, do we have a motion to approve the agenda and minutes dated October 18th?
So moved.
Motion by Law, second by
Second.
Stecker. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Bill Elders is not going to be in today?
Oh, he's not?
No.
No, he's gone, but he called me, he tried to call right, but then called me, and if anybody has any questions, he'll be around this afternoon if you want to call him.
We are up to Donna. You want to get Donna, right?
500.
You want to go over that?
Yep. You got some easy days.
Below 10.
1,068 so far.
Pretty good. 5 years.
The numbers are up all over the country, it sounds like.
We had 87 at the county yesterday. And we had a test, so we were swabbed. We had 3 of us went on the test, 2 at the county.
You open this Saturday?
I know, Saturday before election.
Hi, Donna.
You could Phil, so just doing a few things.
Couldn't make it.
You could make it?
So you got double time.
Yeah, I've been having one.
Twice as much attention, you call that.
You got Jay sitting over there hiding behind the pole.
Tammy, did you get one? Or my mama?
I don't think we've met. I must have been gone or something too the last time, so I just started for this fiscal year and the chart got a little goofy. I'm trying to look at ways to track things, to give you guys information. I don't know what is the best. When I put something down, it's either because I've done something with that person. I get calls all the time on random things, and there's just no physical way I can keep track of all that. It would drive me crazy, and I don't know if it would provide you that much information. And I guess one of the things I wanted to mention, I know there's nothing you can do about it, but we constantly have traffic with DHS. I had a gentleman yesterday that drove down from Buffalo Center, and there's no office there. It's a struggle. Had somebody else come, and I think one of the staff in the building said, well, go to Spencer, Fort Dodge, and Mason City. You can drive there, but you're still not gonna see anybody. But when you hear that it's working well, it's not working. These individuals usually don't have a lot of money. Then they're driving down, they don't have the information that they need. They try to call DHS and they can't get a hold of anybody. I do have one gal that I can get a hold of most of the time, just to kind of figure things out. It's just something, I know you can't do anything, but you need to know.
Does an advocate help with that?
The mental health advocate is only for individuals that are court ordered through the court.
That's it.
And they are not service coordinators, they're to advocate for the individual.
So I think that wouldn't make any difference.
No, we get a lot of calls too, and people are frustrated because they can't get hold of anybody through DHS.
No, you just can't. And I'm just telling you that is something I know you can't. This is the third time you can't do anything about it. I even had DHS staff in that happened to come in yesterday from Saragordo County. And they were appalled that we don't even have applications. And they said, I can't get them here. And
So is that a regional thing or
it's
something?
original. Yeah, we're in the Sioux City and they're in the Mason City. So well, I don't know if it is a regional thing, but having someone go bring them on a regular basis, it just doesn't happen. I've tried, I told them if they could get anything done, I'd be forever grateful, because I feel bad for people that are, they're told to come here. I mean, the gentleman that came down was actually given, goes go to your local office, but, because I think it still shows up as a less than full-time office. So if you Google it, it shows up, and that's where they land. That's just something that.
What kind of applications?
They're medical applications and then their food stamp.
Okay.
You can print them off, but it's a 26-page application and you can print, and I did manage to get the guy's review form. She scanned it to me and then we filled it out as best as we could. But it's, you know, I've got signs posted that we don't have applications, and we don't have applications that have posted even in Spanish, because then you print one of those off and then they're trying to engage you to assist with that. So, I don't know that we'll change anything, but I think it's just worth knowing if that conversation comes up, that there are gaps for that. Deposits, a lot of landlords have always asked for a deposit, and utilities have started asking for a deposit based on their credit rating. Our ordinances do not cover deposits. Basically, it would just be a pot of money that we would be sending out and not knowing how to get back, so we've never entertained that. However, Homeward has been really good in helping with deposits. I think this year we've done 9, 7 were approved, the other 2 were over income. And then Homeward Trust also helped a family with windows in the amount of $7,800. And I think Cheryl is the contact in Clarion, but she's easy to work with. I think she's retiring, so. But that is something that we do get quite a bit, because they go to AMU and they may have a $700 deposit, and then they've got the first month's rent and deposit due, so it's over $2,000 easy. North Iowa Community Action, the last 2 years, and that's kind of how you'll see the utility payments are pretty limited. They usually call to me, but I encourage them to apply at North Iowa Community Action because they've had additional funding with COVID. That money has been exhausted. The annual heating assistance program starts for disabled October 1st and for low income November 1st. Already seeing an increase in people looking for options just because they're anticipating that those costs will be high. More than likely, we won't see anything significant between November and April because it's the moratorium, but next spring might be interesting as far as those requests. And continuing to see extremely high balances over a couple of thousand, and you can't tackle it when it's that high. We did have our breakfast for our ministerial association in October. We had last spring, trying to catch up with road construction and COVID and things like that. We only had 4 that were in attendance, so I'm not sure about continuing to do that just because of the time. I kind of was astonished how many agencies were there, but eating breakfast and not helping people, so it's like, I don't know what it gained really. And Prairie Ridge did a training on vaping out at the college, and in January we'll do one on overuse of prescriptions. Christmas programs starting to hear about. I'm excited.
Already.
It is October 25th.
I know, don't worry, they start in October asking, and I always say November 1st, November 1st. We're going to do the distribution at the election center this year. The senior center was it was wonderful with no steps and the parking. However, and I think maybe they would have worked, but there is a cost contributed to it. And they want their staff to stay there when we're there, and staff, I don't think, is always happy to be there later. And I'd rather wait for somebody to show up if they tell me they're coming and get rid of it than haul it everywhere through the county. That's kind of it with general assistance. I don't know if you guys have questions. Okay. I put in, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Are you done?
Yeah, I can. I was gonna do a few things with HR, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna talk about our mental health advocates, gonna bring up more discussion, but Donna and I talked last week, and I got, Rob Aiken from the DHS emailed Abby Whalen, wants to know if she was still our advocate, and she said no, and he was wondering what's going on, so I think probably we need to be on the agenda next week maybe, and we probably need to move forward on trying to get somebody hired, or did you get a chance to talk?
I did talk to Bill, and I thought maybe today you could, I know that they're trying to figure out some things. I think they still employ her full-time, but Worth and Hancock have contracted since they ended their 2080 agreement. And I think that that's fuzzy. He didn't have any issues with moving forward, but I think that needs to be cleared, because otherwise you've got, well, we have ran into where it's almost impossible. I guess it's not my role, so I guess it's up to you guys in the region to check hours, but we've had challenges with keeping track of our advocate and their billing up to 23 hours a day. So, again.
I'm not sure if Bill will be there today, maybe he's gonna be there, I can discuss it with him.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that they contacted her, but I said, was she listed even as a temporary?
No, because in his email, he said that, are you the advocate for Kossuth County right now, question mark, is there one question mark, list from September has it blank.
Oh, it's just they pulled her out, okay.
You know, so we had no applicants, right?
We've had nothing. Mhm.
I mean, I don't think it's worth the money advertising again.
Yeah, I don't know where. You know, the challenge is the individual needs to be degreed for a nurse and experience. We have individuals that I think that have expressed some interest, but when they changed the legislation in either 2015 or 2016, and you put those thresholds on it,
Really,
it'll make
that's,
it more challenging.
You're not gonna get anybody with the threshold as I'm afraid.
What kind of time commitment do you think someone would need for just our county? Do you have any idea?
We've advertised as an average of 10 hours a week. Our previous advocate was averaging like around 38 to 40 hours a month. It can kind of vary depending on the amount of court hearings. I don't have an exact count of what our current caseload is. I think at one point it was around 11 to 13. It depends if the advocate truly like drives to see somebody. You know, you're at 6 hours just driving, let alone staffing and a visit. I don't know that has always occurred. It's kind of intermittent. Or you can be upstairs for 2 days too. So it varies. But we've said average of 10.
but you just talked to, you didn't talk to Ruth.
I did not.
But I think she would do it, I think she's expressed interest that she would, according to Melissa, but I'll talk to Melissa again today and see what's going on.
She didn't apply though.
Right.
I'm interested in a lot of things too,
Right.
exercise, and maybe I just don't do it. I mean, expressing interest in doing it is another thing. It's just my opinion. And I just threw in a few tidbits with HR that July, which is like old news, we did do the open enrollment for Walmart. We had one resignation in July. September retirement and 2 new hires. October we've had 2 resignations, retirement, and 1 new hire. So you can see we're losing more than we're gaining. September, the biometrics were done, 108, which I think wellness was on the agenda. We didn't officially meet last week. But just kind of update, flu clinic at 61. We did do the live K in September. It was the hottest day in September that you could have. And then we did a freezer meal last week. And our flex starts next Tuesday, also through the 14th. All staff need to sign off on a form, and we distribute those whether they elect to participate or participate.
How many was that freezer meal? Good turnout?
11, I think 11 or 12, yeah, and it was kind of a workout. It was like a nonstop hour and 20 minutes of throwing together five meals. You know, a lot, it's probably a lot of work, but it's kind of nice just to see, try different things. Anything else?
Nothing else, Don?
Nothing else?
Well, go to your next one, wellness.
Well, that was kind of the wellness, kind of, that's why I threw that in. Wellness didn't officially meet,
Right.
so we don't have anything new, but I just kind of updated you a little bit with the programs that we had. But
Nothing else.
I don't think that there's anything new on the horizon. I suppose in January we'll look at, we're gonna continue the Way to Go program, or adapt it anyway. I think we have about 30, well, we probably have 45 signed up, and probably 37, 38 that participate. But they either sign up and drop off and come back on. I'd say more like the 35 to 38 that continue throughout the year. So, and, you know, those sound like kind of small numbers, but when you look at trends, that's about 25% of our employees, but you get more than that. But most areas get maybe 5 to 6 participations, or 5 to 6% participation. So it's not like people participate in those heavily.
Well, obviously, I'm not on wellness, but I did just hear about a program with a hospital where they are doing, like a wellness program that's tied with their health insurance. They're offering either a $50 gift certificate or buying a Fitbit for $50. Or they could pick their own if they want something fancier, but the base model or whatever, they could get free potentially. And then depending on their steps and points and stuff they get based on physical activity and metrics that are tracked on the Fitbit, that goes to how much of their health insurance is paid for by the employer.
I think Pharmacists Mutual has something similar. We did run into where the auditors were questioning any cash, because at one point, gift cards or.
Yeah, which we would have to tweak that if we looked at anything.
Yeah, and right now, the only budget that's in wellness, other than like the biometrics and things like that, is staff raised funding. So our budget is around 800 right now, we've got about 800, I think, in the balance. It's never over 1,000, so it's through the G&A contribution. But yeah, if they do things, I think if they can reach certain thresholds, and that's kind of what the Way to Go program is. They do have to turn in their exercise sheets. It kind of hopefully offsets some of our insurance costs if people attempt to be healthy.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Okay, see you later.
Yep. Judy, we got some reinstatements maybe?
Yes, remember when we came in and we had to list out for the people that we were disallowing for the homesteads in the military for whatever reason, and we sent out those letters. They had 20 days to appeal, and we did hear from 2 of them. One was an instance that they had put everything in the trust, and when the deed was recorded, they just put it in that name and gave us a Fort Dodge address. So we thought that that person had moved. That was the Russell Harms. But actually, that was, all the mail was being sent to us, no, I guess it's Des Moines, excuse me. That's actually going to a son, and he actually still lives there. So that was the one of them for a homestead. And the other one was a military. And she had an out-of-state address, or her address was changed out of state, so we had deleted it for that reason. And they had sent in a letter appealing that she was, never really went out of the state. Let's see. She's currently residing in Iowa and has been a resident of Iowa for the past 90 years, so. I recommend that both of these be reinstated then.
Do I have a motion to reinstate Harms and Johnson?
Ramona Johnson.
Motion by Platt,
I'll second it.
second by Casey. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Okay, I have 2 letters ready to be signed. I don't know if you want to sign them now or come to
Sure,
the
we'll
office.
just sign that now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Site plan, maybe send it to down the below. Yeah, we send one sent that up. Thanks.
You ever on the website? You can grab it, man.
I have like a page of my home.
First kid, I said, is that true in here? You think you're-
It's not that I collect them, it's just that they go in there so easy.
That's the crash test. He says, there's no workers there at that time because the different crew comes over and does the approaches. You know, the same crew did everything. First check. The way it's lined, it's saying 5% drop in corn yields over the next 5 years because of excess heat. Reader had that on school.
Thought I heard that the other day too.
They said in 2030, we're gonna be a significant drop. Or whether it's really gonna be flooding in 2030.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I like to sit on that side, but looks like this is more set up this way, so guess we'll start doing it this way. All right, how's everyone doing today? Good. We got a couple of construction of the road right away requests. The first one is a request from Beckstrom Construction out of Elkhart. They are requesting to put a communication of fiber optic cable. This would be coming from Mid-American Switch down in Section 3 of Sherman Township and going over to the Galbraith area. So they would be putting fiber optic in the north right of way of 150th Street. And I would recommend that the board would approve of this.
Were they going to build the elevator there?
Well,
It's gotta be the elevator.
I don't know.
Is that the old power plant?
I think it's a power plant, Galen. They must have some sort of
Something like that.
something there, a hub or something.
I have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Casey, second by Loss. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
It's all right with you, I'll just bring these up to get both signed at the same time. Is that all right, Roger?
You bet.
Okay. The second request is from Midland Power, out of Jefferson. They are requesting to remove a overhead power line, 3-phase. They're gonna be putting in 3-phase, I don't know what the overhead is exactly. This is on 120th Street down in, between section 22 and 27 of Laverne Township. And I would recommend that the board would approve of this request as well. It's going into Dennis Marty's place.
Mr. Casey makes a motion, do I have a second?
Sorry.
Second.
Second by Stacker. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
All right. When is, voting in 2 weeks?
November 8th.
It's not next. Just wanted to verify that. First Tuesday after the first Monday, right?
Correct. I was gonna send out an email today reminding
Thank you. All right. Construction, the Irvington Bridge, they have moved a lot of people onto that job. In fact, I think there's 3 crews now, so they are moving along. It's got beams on it. Probably, well, we'll know more next week. Might be that week that you guys, the voting, the election. So we'll see how things come along. 4-way bridge, we are waiting for the contractor to move some equipment off of that. When that happens, we will probably open it up to traffic. We will keep the road closed, barricades staggered, so people have to drive around it, slow them down. We do need to get stop signs up for north-south traffic, but we do have locates for that. But I would assume that by the, this week sometime, that would happen and we would get that taken care of. We still need to construct turn lanes on that road, but we should be able to construct turn lanes under traffic. So we'll just have to have the appropriate road work ahead signs and different things like that. So that's getting close. Resurfacing, all the asphalt is complete. Now they're shouldering. That's moving a little slow. They don't have as many drivers as they wish they had, and it is a little haul right now. But they're working on P64, and then they'll move to the Benedict Road, and then they'll move to R14. We still have to do a little bit of work in Wesley, where we'll actually be hauling in some dirt along yards there, so that they can plant, we can seed that, and they can mow it. 472640, that's the north line of section 26 Laverne. That culvert is open. 971102, that's up in Lincoln Township. They started removal on that and are moving forward there. Gravel crushing, Reddings should have 50,000 ton up at Rockler's, and they'll be moving over to the McGuire. Galen, I did talk with Matt Dornbeer about that, so I think that everything is going there.
Good.
The 169 bridge, they continue to work there, although it's slow. DOT, the 18 resurfacing, I haven't been on that. I don't know how far along they
I
are.
still think they got almost all the top layer to it.
They still got the final lift?
Yeah,
Okay.
final lift. They got part of it done. I was on it Sunday.
Okay. I haven't been on it for quite some time. I have a meeting in Mason City Thursday, so I'm trying to drive around it. On the way back, I might drive on it.
drones were flying everywhere the other day with that everything.
Really? Yeah. And then Ledyard Wind Power, they have all of their turbines erected. Kossuth Wind Energy, I think they had, as of yesterday, I think they had 8 remaining. Open positions for the mechanic, we received, I guess, we did not receive any applications from the mechanic, no applications for the Laverne shop, and 8 applications for Lone Rock. No, excuse me, 8 applications for the transfer station and 3 applications for the Lone Rock shop. Some of the applications that went into the transfer station, when I read through them, they may, I just gotta get through it and look at them, but I'm gonna be scheduling some interviews quickly for that. Other than that, that's about all that I have. So,
What's going on in Maudsley's field? Actually, the Lane Trotters, right across from north of section 12. I went home last night and it looks like they're making a turn in lane like they did for the wind towers.
well, they need to, if you go to your mother's house,
Yeah.
go a mile to the east and north. There's a turbine on the west side of the road.
The one that doesn't run for.
Yeah,
months.
that needs new blades, so they are doing a little bit of intersection modification to bring in new blades. They're gonna come from Highway 18, go south on 180th.
Okay.
Get on is that 150th Street?
Yep.
Get on 150th Street, go a couple miles to the east, and then go back up north to deliver some blades.
You can see on the blade, they got a big patch on one of the blades.
Yeah, that's what some Doug Crouch was telling me, so. But yeah, they gotta deliver, 3 new blades and install 3 new blades on that.
And that one right in the corner, it's in Munson's field between Irving and Blacktop and Word Sex, and they brought the crane back to finally put the blades on that.
Yeah,
They had some faulty blades there or something, somebody said.
well, my understanding is that, an employee, I don't know if it was a dozer tractor or an agricultural tractor, but an employee backed into one of the blades.
Oops.
So, and that's what I heard.
Okay.
So that was a man-made disaster.
Well, the corn's still there, so it must have been their guy did it.
Yeah. No, it was an employee. It was not a landowner or tenant or anything like that. So.
What's that stuff they put on the roads? They bring it in trucks and semis, and then they put it on the roads that they're making. It's kind of a brownish grayish stuff. It ain't normal gravel or.
Say, where is it? Are you seeing it? It's limestone.
Oh, it is
And it's
limestone.
coming from Garner, but it's got a darker, it's not as white.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, it's a more of an orange almost.
Yeah.
Brown, orange. Yes, that's a limestone out of Garner, BMC. So that's where they're getting their shoulder material.
Okay.
And every now and then we get, even if you go up to that box culvert that we're putting in, we'll haul maybe 2-inch material, and it'll come out of Humboldt and Martin Marietta, and then you get Garner roadstone on top of it, and yeah, definitely two different colors. So.
Anything else, Doug?
No,
You ever hear anything about the oil with the maintainer and the truck?
no, other than their insurance company has contacted us. The truck did not have the same beads. It was a silicone, it wasn't metallic. And we think that probably came from just routine maintenance, but the maintainer we are looking at, and their insurance companies talked to us, and Nick out of the mechanic shop is communicating with them, so.
Anything else?
Well, I had a lady call me Sunday night that I got a hold of with Scott yesterday. You guys forgot the driveway right inside of St. Benedict.
Could have, sorry.
It's a little, Scott knew, because I know the one you're talking about, yep, he goes, it's really kinda hid in the trees and
Well,
goes back into their
Good.
pasture.
yeah,
So he was gonna drive by yesterday and take a look at it.
yeah. Went into pasture and not a house or anything, so it wasn't like it was real critical, but we'll, yeah, we'll take care of it. So thank you. And the other, I mean, with that, with the shouldering operation, I'm sure those will get filled up also. It's just whether they would have gone back so far.
You know where Dwayne Tyndall is?
Yes,
Right to the west of his house, that blacktop corner. You know, you gotta make a corner to stay on blacktop.
yes,
It'd be well, that corner would be the southeast part of that. How are they gonna shoulder that? Cause they got a culvert coming out of the field right in that corner, and the drop off is about this deep right now. If you take that thing tight, you're in trouble.
to be honest, on the east side, I haven't taken that from the east side. I've always come in from the west, so I'll have to take a look at it and see.
Except your head, you know, you go past Donnie Besh's.
Right.
Head north, and then when you gotta
Go.
turn and go east, that corner right.
Yeah,
right there.
okay, so it's to the west of Dwayne. I was thinking
Yeah.
you were saying,
No,
I'm sorry,
west.
I was going east to the west. I'll have to take a look at that, yeah.
Because I noticed when the water was running, the last year, they got, like you said, an intake coming out of the field, it dumps right in the ditch right there. Then it goes underneath the road and then heads to the creek.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a look at it. And I'll talk to Zach and Nick about it also.
Nothing else? We'll have a break for an hour.
Yeah, that, I think I'll sit in on that DD4 lateral 11. I'm not sure, I haven't even looked at it, but is there some road crossings on that?
The ditch there would be, but not for this stuff, no.
Not for this?
No.
Well, then I won't sit in. Okay, very good, thank you.
And